Marcus Chen stared at the marriage contract displayed on the holographic screen, his fingers trembling over the signature pad. The words blurred together as his empty stomach growled. He hadn't eaten in 2 days. Earth's economic collapse had left billions like him, desperate, homeless, and willing to do anything for a chance at survival. The Galactic Union's interspecies marriage initiative had seemed like a sick joke when it first appeared on the feeds. Aliens seeking human spouses in exchange for citizenship, housing, and in some cases valuable assets. Marcus had scrolled past dozens of profiles before stopping at Zixthra's offer. Marriage in exchange for co-ownership of a Class 7 cargo vessel worth enough to set him up for life. The catch? Zixthra belonged to the Voluminax species, massive beings whose gravitational homeworld had evolved them to weigh several tons by human standards. Her profile picture showed a being easily 15 feet tall and proportionally wide, with gray leathery skin and 4 eyes that gleamed with an intelligence that made Marcus uncomfortable, but desperation erased discomfort. He signed. The wedding ceremony took place on Station Kepler 442, a neutral zone where Earth's refugees mixed with alien traders. Zixthra's voice rumbled like distant thunder as she spoke her vows in flawless English. Marcus noticed how gently she moved despite her size, how carefully she avoided crushing the human-sized furniture around them. "You have honor enough to follow through," she said after the ceremony, her translator device rendering her deep vocalizations into soft, feminine tones. "Many humans sign and flee. I respect commitment." The ship, Earthbound Dreamer, was magnificent. A sleek vessel with human-compatible quarters and Voluminax cargo, holds that could transport goods across 3 sectors. Marcus explored every corridor, his heart soaring with possibilities. He could hire a crew, start trade routes, maybe even help other desperate humans escape Earth's dying economy. On the 3rd night, everything changed. Marcus woke to the sound of hydraulic locks engaging throughout the ship. He rushed to the bridge, but the doors wouldn't respond to his biometrics. Through the viewport, he watched Station Kepler 442 shrink into the distance. They were moving. "Zixthra," he called over the intercom. "What's happening? Where are we going?" Her face appeared on the screen, all 4 eyes fixed on him with an expression he couldn't read. "We go to the disputed sectors. Very profitable route, very dangerous. You stay in safe quarters. You locked me in. This is my ship too. For protection. Humans fragile. You break easily." The next weeks were torture. Marcus had access to his quarters, the kitchen, and a small observation deck, all human-scaled spaces that now felt like a gilded cage. Zixthra controlled everything: navigation, communications, even the food dispensers. The ship stopped at strange ports where alien voices rumbled through the hull, and mysterious cargo was loaded and unloaded. Marcus studied the ship's systems obsessively, using the limited database access Zixthra had left him. He learned about Voluminax culture, about their complex honor codes and their view of smaller species as children needing protection. He also learned about the cargo vessels, emergency override systems, fail-safes designed to prevent any single crew member from maintaining total control. But activating those systems required accessing the engineering deck, which remained locked. One morning, or what passed for morning in the endless void, the ship shuddered violently. Alarms blared. Marcus heard Zixthra's roar of anger echo through the corridors, followed by weapons fire. Pirates. The ship lurched again. Through his viewport, Marcus saw a scarred raider vessel attached to their hull like a parasite. More weapons fire. Then an explosion somewhere deep in the ship. The lights flickered, and his door unlocked. The ship's emergency protocols had activated, opening all secured areas to allow evacuation. Marcus didn't hesitate. He ran toward engineering, his human size finally an advantage as he squeezed through maintenance tunnels meant for repair drones. The engineering deck was chaos. 3 alien pirates, Kreshti raiders by their scarred exoskeletons, were attempting to override the ship's core systems. They hadn't expected a human. They certainly hadn't expected one who'd spent weeks studying every system aboard. Marcus's fingers flew across the engineering console. He rerouted power, sealed bulkheads, and vented the atmosphere in the cargo holds where more pirates were breaching. The Kreshtian engineering turned toward him, their mandibles clicking threats. But Marcus had already activated the ship's internal defense. Grid, a system Zixthra had locked him out of but never disabled. Stun fields dropped the pirates instantly. When Zixthra finally reached engineering, her gray skin was scorched and one arm hung limp. She stared at Marcus, then at the unconscious raiders, then at the console showing every system under his control. "You saved the ship," she said, her natural voice unfiltered by the translator, carrying a deep, resonant respect. "You saved me." Marcus met all four of her eyes. "This is our ship. Partners share control. Partners share risk." For a long moment, Zixthra was silent. Then she moved to a secondary console and entered a long code. Throughout the ship, locks disengaged. She removed her biosignature restrictions from the navigation, communications, and command systems. "Among Voluminax," she said quietly, "we protect what we consider ours. Sometimes too much. I forgot humans are not possessions. You are survivors, warriors. I apologize." Marcus felt his anger drain away. "And I forgot that sometimes protection comes from caring, not controlling. We both have things to learn." Over the following months, they became true partners. Marcus learned to read Zixthra's expressions, to understand her culture's complicated relationship with vulnerability. She learned to trust his judgment, to see humans not as fragile curiosities, but as resilient equals who'd survived the death of their homeworld with dignity intact. The Earthbound Dreamer became legendary. In the trading circuits, a ship crewed by the most unlikely partnership, known for fair dealing and for never backing down from danger. And when they finally returned to Station Kepler 442, Marcus didn't leave. He had everything he'd needed: freedom, purpose, and a future built not on desperation, but on mutual respect forged in the fires of crisis. Sometimes the best partnerships begin with the worst assumptions, and humanity's greatest strength has always been proving the doubters wrong.